Folks, I wish we could ignore this, but oh goodness gracious. But unfortunately we can't. I have a massive, I mean a massive comic book, manga, and graphic novel haul to go through. It is massive. And it's massive because guess what? It's off in the library. So if you thought that this haul was about me purchasing stuff out of my pocket, you're absolutely wrong. Wrong. I'm sorry. Hey y'all, welcome to the Rana Comics, where we discuss everything graphic novels, manga, and comic related. I am here to do a haul of things that I currently have checked out, and it is quite a bit. So the way that this video is going to work, because for the sake of time, I just cannot literally sit here and give you a description of every single thing that I currently have checked out. I may give you a little bit of a synopsis for some of these, give you a little bit of background for some of these, but it was nice pulling all of this stuff aside and realizing, like, holy crap, I have all this stuff checked out and I definitely need to read it so I can return it, because this is getting a tad redonkadonk here, because I cannot believe, yeah, some of this stuff I forgot that I even had checked out. So there's that. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 piles stacked high. Like my hands are sitting like right here, and so the table is down here, and so my hands are like up here. So stacks and stacks of books. But let's go ahead and jump into this video. It's not too long, and you can get an idea of what I've been planning to read. So I'm going to start with this pile in front of me first. All right, so the first thing I have here is Bomb. This is Steve Schenken. If you don't know anything about Steve Schenken, he's really known for doing children and teen nonfiction, and this is, I believe, one of his first graphic novels. This has to do with the creation, I believe, of the atomic bomb, which, you know, I don't know if I really should read this anytime soon. I spent a good portion of some of my evenings this week, which I hate to admit, doom scrolling, figuring out what to do during a nuclear bomb, or nuclear war. What would happen? What would be the chances of survival? What would happen to the earth? And what was the likelihood that my specific area would be a target? I probably shouldn't pick this up anytime soon, but I thought I would include it. I have Candy and Cigarettes Volume 2, which I need to get back to because I haven't read this yet, and the series is much further along if I'm not mistaken. I have Dragon Goes House Hunting, which I did actually... Did I ever start reading this? Yeah, I started reading part of this and thought it was really interesting. It is literally about a dragon that is trying to find a home and enlist the help, I believe, of it's an elfin-like creature. And so, yeah, it's interesting. Not the best thing that I've ever read, but you know, for the most part, it's all right. I have a couple of volumes. I think the other volume is somewhere around here, which I should have kept them together, but knowing me, I don't keep anything together nor anything organized, or would have been aware that this was a thing that was happening. But I do have a couple of the volumes of Beauty and the Beast of Paradise Lost. Remember that I bought volume 1 of the series and really enjoyed it, to the point that I asked my library if we could possibly get the rest of the series, because just, you know, acquiring these things just financially, these are a lot of money. These are $13 a piece, and I just couldn't justify the cost. So meanwhile, mind you, oh, here goes the other one that I have. So I have 3, 4, and 5 here. 2 must be upstairs. This is 3, 4, and 5. But yes, I am hoping soon, sometime soon, before the year is ending, I'm hoping to get to that. Next, of course, we have My Aunt is a Monster. I've talked about this one quite a bit on my channel. This is one that is a rollover from my October reading plans that I didn't get to, that I do want to get to. So this is one that you'll see me probably talk about more on the channel in the upcoming like couple of weeks, because it'll be featured in one of my vlogs. I have Speak Up. This is another middle grade graphic novel. The main character in this one, I believe, is on the spectrum, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it has autism representation. For some reason, I think it does, and I'm not sure where I got that from, because it's not really saying it in the description, but I feel like I have seen that somewhere, that the main character of this is on the spectrum, and so I don't think I've ever read a middle grade graphic novel with autism representation, so I'm looking forward to this one, especially because there's like a musical element to it. I know. I've been meaning to catch up on Seaside Stranger. This is volume 4. At this point, I couldn't even begin to tell you like where we're at for Seaside Stranger. Like, I don't even know what volume we're on in English, but I do know that I have not read volume 4, and I need to read volume 4. Don't ask me what's going on here. Please don't ask me what's going on. I also have Shark Summer by Ira Marks. This is one that I did start reading and got a decent amount into it. Like maybe 70 pages. I got 70 pages into this, and I'm not sure what exactly happened and why I never continued it, but it literally is for fans of like, if you like sharks, you know, Jaws, this is the perfect book to read during Shark Week. I think I checked it out for Shark Week, to be honest with you, and my intention was to read it during Shark Week, and did that happen? No, it did not. I have Bug Boys, which I think I've actually hauled before already on this channel, but I still haven't gotten a chance to read Bug Boys. It literally is about 2 bugs that are very close friends. This is a middle grade graphic novel still. Random House did this one. I think that this is good for a little bit of a younger audience. It's long, but I think text-wise it might be great for a younger group. Then I have Ham Helsling, Vampire Hunter. I had originally started reading this one digitally, but I think for some reason my loan had lapsed and somebody was on hold for it, and so I was like, well, I'll just get the physical copy. Think like, if you like Van Helsing, think about it, except it is a pig that is Van Helsing instead of a actual human. So this would have been perfect for October, but I actually forgot that I had it checked out. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Next, I have Lost in Taiwan. This is one that I think I had put on a reading plans and I did not get to. This is probably like during the summer. And this one is just, I'm interested in the artwork in this one. This is what drew me to this, because it feels like a old school like comic book feel to it. It's been a while since this one has actually been on my radar to pick up, but he's in Taiwan with his brother, and he ends up getting lost while he's there. He meets another character while he's there, so interested in that and seeing how long it's going to take me to get to that one. I have A Galaxy Next Door volume 3. I've been enjoying the series. I actually have been also watching the anime of this one. If you like romance but sci-fi romance, this is definitely one that you will be interested in checking out. Then I have Moth Keeper. I've been meaning to read this one for a long time. This I actually heard more about recently in a meeting that I was in, that it's really, really good. So this actually just got bumped up my radar because somebody was actually raving about it in a meeting that I was in, and I was like, oh, I have that checked out, and it has not been like high on my priority list to read, but I think now it needs to be up on my priority list. This unfortunately dropped down on my priority list, which is Shazam Thundercrack. I heard that this was not that good, which is unfortunate. This is one of those DC middle grade graphic novels where they're making their world more accessible to younger readers, which of course I, as an adult that reads a lot of DC, I do appreciate it, but I heard that this was not that good, which is super disappointing, but it's fine. It's gonna be all right. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I still have not read Ianu Volume 2, Child of Wonder, which I need to read. This is becoming, I think HBO picked this up if I'm not mistaken, and this is becoming a TV show. I liked Volume 1 a lot, and so I don't know why I still have not picked up Volume 2. At this point, I think we may even be close to Volume 3 if Volume 3 is not already out. It's a mess. It's a mess. I also have Lumberjanes. This is something I have read already. I have Lumberjanes. Hold on. Let me do a shift here. I have Lumberjanes Volume 1, Beware the Holy Kitten. I also have Lumberjanes, A Friendship to the Max. And then I also have Lumberjanes Volume 3, A Terrible Plan. Now, like I said, I actually have read, I think, to be honest with you, I would have to go back and look at my Goodreads, but I'm pretty sure I've read all 3 of these before. I'm pretty sure I've read all 3 of these before, but I wanted to do kind of like a slow reread of Lumberjanes. Lumberjanes is like at volume 20 at this point, so I'm not in a particular like rush to read it, but I think I would enjoy picking it up and revisiting that world a little bit. I also have Officer Clawsome, Lobster Cop. This is just a 2020 new release that I wanted to pick up. I don't really know much about it. I think it literally is a lobster that is a police officer. I don't know. They come up with some really interesting and creative things for the younger audiences. I have a manga here that is targeted at kids, and it is Polar Bear Cafe. Once again, the talking animal thing, it's like kids love it. I think about it like in a pro sense, like kids love things like Warriors, Wings of Fire. Like kids love that stuff, and so it's just kind of like, why not make it in graphic novel or manga format? So here we have literally polar bears that run a cafe. I don't know. I have another manhwa here. I have two manhwas actually here to show to you. The first one being Solo Leveling, which I started solo leveling this year. It's my first time diving into solo leveling, and let me tell y'all, it is good. Like I definitely I'm 100% on board with this. I'm enjoying Solo Leveling. I just have not had the chance to dive into volume 2. It has a very interesting premise. It is very gory though. If you're not into that element, the series probably won't be for you. But goodness gracious, like I really enjoyed that first volume. And then of course I have Why Raeliana Ended Up at the Duke's Mansion. This is volume 2. I haven't been in a rush to read this one. I've been more of like feeling more pressure to get through Villains Are Destined to Die. I think I like that series just a little bit better because I feel like the stakes are higher. This one is not that the stakes are not high at all, like because the stakes are high in this one, but I don't know. I think I just like Villains Are Destined to Die a little bit more. Then after that, we have a couple of, let's see if I can find them. Oh, is that volume 2? Oh, here's volume 2 of Beauty and the Beast Paradise Lost. I said it was upstairs. It was sitting right in front of my face. Okay, so I have volumes 13 and 14 of Something's Wrong With Us. Now, I do plan to knock these out pretty soon because this story is, I think, coming to an end. I can't remember. Is it volume 16? I think. Is volume 16 the last? It's like maybe in between 16 and 18 last volumes. I got someone at a friend of mine to start reading this series, and I'm loving the feedback that I'm getting because Shay and Izzy got me on this series, and it's just one of those things where you just kind of have to dive into it because it's hard to explain what this is, but if you know, then you know. But 13 and 14 are definitely, they're quick reads, so it won't take me any time to make it through those. I do have Clark and Lex. I believe I added Clark and Lex to my November reading plan, so this is one that you should be hearing me talk about soon. This is another one of those DC middle grade graphic novel things where actually Clark and Lex are going to have to work together, so that'll be an interesting situation. Babysitter's Club, I already have started reading this. This is one that is a rollover from, when was this? A rollover from October. So I'm partly of the way through this. I am kind of reading them in tandem. So as I finish one of the prose books, I'm picking up the graphic novel. So I need to finish this so I can pick up the next book in the series, which I believe I do have upstairs. And then I will check out the second graphic novel. It literally is, it does change some of the elements from the book because, I mean, you have to kind of like bring it down in terms of being able to, you can't include all of the content. Like that's just impossible to include all of the content. So it is less content than the prose books, but still very, very good. I still am continuing with Sasaki and Miyano. Don't know why. Like I can't remember whether I gave volume 4 3 or 4 stars. Volume 5 3 or 4 stars. I can't remember, but because my library has the series, I don't feel stressed about continuing it. It's not awful. It's not like what is the Yuri title that I absolute How Do We Relationship? I can't. My library has How Do We Relationship as well, but I just can't with that dynamic. I had to DNF that series, but this one is not to the point where I feel like I'm in a DNF, so I'm gonna keep gunning for it and hopefully I'll get back up to the pace that I like. because there was a moment when I was giving it 4 stars and then the pacing kind of like threw me off, and then I dropped it back down to, you know, the 3-star type of situation. I Want to Be a Wall. I have had this for forever. I need to finish it, and that's all that needs to be said. This is great queer rep in the series, and I still have not read it yet. I have some Percy Jackson adaptations here that I need to finish, even though I'm not a fan of these, y'all. I am not a fan of these at all. So I have Percy Jackson in the Sea of Monsters. I have Percy Jackson in The Titan's Curse. And then the Battle of the Labyrinth. These are some of the worst graphic novel adaptations that I have ever dealt with. They leave out so much content, which is why I say every book that's written doesn't necessarily need a graphic novel adaptation, because sometimes some of that content is not transferable over to a graphic novel type of situation. Next, I have Cleopatra in Space. This is like a 5 or 6 book series that I'm slowly making my way through. I read volume 1 and I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. So I'm definitely looking forward to continuing this series. I am also continuing Bigfoot and Nessie. This is a younger graphic novel series. I mean, very, very young. You can see like in terms of text that it's geared towards a much younger audience. But I love the coloring and the artwork in these. The first one was very, very cute, and it's literally about Bigfoot, the Lochness Monster. The first one was about like the impact of social media, which I thought was very unique because it wasn't done in a way where it was heavy-handed. It was done in a way that was like really digestible and accessible, and I appreciated that, especially as a parent reading it and thinking about like discussions about social media with my little one as she gets older. Then we have Jurassic Jeff. This is one that I have not been picking up, and you know, y'all, I might just return Jurassic Jeff. It's a younger graphic novel and it's just not really calling my attention right now. I want to love it, but I'm not loving it, and so I think I may just kind of pull back on that one. We have volume 1 of Delicious in Dungeon, which I've been meaning to read because I wanted to read more food manga, and so many of you have recommended Delicious in Dungeon. I just haven't had the chance to start it yet. Then I have the Uja Wuja, which is a horror mystery or whatever. This is one that I've been looking forward to reading. This would have been a perfect one for October as well. I like that this sticks primarily to like the themes of like, you know, like red, black, and white. There are other colors that are used throughout the graphic novel, but that is the primary palette that's used, and it's horror. So right up my alley here. I may pick this one up this month. I don't know. That one just made me excited. And then we have Buzzing, which I did talk about in my November reading plan. So this is already on my TBR, my immediate radar. This is a middle grade graphic novel that features a main character that has OCD and is into, is it gaming? It's kind of not gaming in the sense of like video games, but like board games. So I think that's a fun element. And then also Picture Day, which I have on my immediate reading plans for November, about a middle grade age main character who cuts their hair as a statement, and it leads to things that they did not expect. And then we have the Cursed Princess Club, which is one that is also on my immediate November reading plans, and one that I've been meaning to read, that flips the idea of what it means to be a princess on its head. So I've heard that this one is really, really good, and I'm looking forward to reading it. But okay, y'all, that's it. Like, good. We kept it almost under 20 minutes. It was a lot. It's a lot of stuff that I currently have like going on. So hopefully I can chip away at this TBR pile sometime soon. That way I don't have all of this stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, let me know in the comments below anything that you've recently purchased, hauled from the library. I'm interested in hearing it. Is there anything that you see in this pile that I should prioritize in terms of reading? If you've read any of it, as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. And if you're looking for ways to support the channel or follow me on social media, all the links will be down in the description box below. And I'll be back with another video soon. Bye!